The Mario Bros. Franchise has been a staple of gaming culture since 1985, and inevitably, when you think of Mario, Bowser and his castles are always at the forefront of your mind as the driving force behind Mario's adventures. Is he really such a bad guy? Before we get into the video, punch that subscribe button. You'll be the first to know when we release fresh new content. Mario lives. With over 250 titles in the Mario Bros. Franchise, Bowser has yet to defeat Mario. Of course, there are plenty of obstacles set to thwart Mario on his quest to rescue Princess Peach, but are any of them particularly deadly? The Koopa Troopas are easily defeated by rendering them shellless, Petey Piranha is avoidable, Bullet Bills are slow-moving and fairly predictable, Dry Bones are, well, dry and fall apart with a single stomp to the head, and even the Boos have their weaknesses. While the Koopa castles are daunting, they're not particularly difficult to traverse, especially considering that Mario is a veteran dungeon crawler. He's definitely not a squishy level 1 mage. With all of the low-level bad guys at Bowser's disposal, if outright killing Mario were his main goal in life, he'd be doing a terrible job of succeeding with his devious plan. Considering the numerous titles in the Mario franchise, Bowser has had plenty of opportunities to do away with the pesky plumber, and yet Mario lives on. Either Bowser's goal isn't to get rid of Mario permanently, or he's the biggest failure since Wile E. Coyote tried to capture and presumably eat the Roadrunner. Please defeat me. Bowser has a plethora of minions at his disposal. He has ridiculously intricate castles outfitted with deadly traps, lava, and dry bones set up to keep out meddling plumbers and mushroom people. He has a powerful Magikoopa on his side, but Mario still manages to defeat him and rescue Princess Peach in every game. Astute players will also note the presence of self-defeating mechanisms inside each Bowser castle as well. The lever located behind Bowser in multiple castle levels is easily accessed by Mario. Once the lever has been pulled, the bridge disappears and Bowser can be seen dropping into the lava below. One would think that Bowser would have learned his lesson after the first time Mario used his own bridge lever against him, but apparently not. Why would Bowser create weapons that could be used against himself in order to defeat him? Perhaps instead of shuffling Mario off of this mortal coil and keeping Princess Peach hostage, Bowser has a different goal in mind. It could be that with all the camaraderie between Mario and pals, Bowser feels left out. One way to get attention, albeit negative attention, would be to consistently torment Mario and friends in order to draw attention to himself. It's possible that Bowser, instead of being evil, is simply lonely. Castles galore. While it seems like Bowser's main source of entertainment is kidnapping Princess Peach, in reality, he appears to have a very active personal life outside of playing the villain to the Mushroom Kingdom. His endless supply of castles are evidence of that alone. Bowser's castles are far more intricate than the residences of Princess Peach. The Mushroom people may be skilled architects, but they are truly no match for the innovation present in a Bowser castle. From beautiful wood doors to large open windows, the Bowser castles are not only masterpieces of construction, they're also dangerous. Not only does Bowser have numerous castles throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, but they are regularly destroyed by Mario and his cohorts in their attempts to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser's clutches. Bowser may not personally build each castle himself, but he, more than likely, designs them at the very least. Not to mention the fact that with all the castle destruction from the Mario Brothers, his castles have to be rebuilt regularly to maintain their structural integrity. Again, he may not personally work on each castle himself, but he is at least creating tons of construction jobs in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that has to count for something. Mr. and Mrs. Bowser. While Nintendo maintains that Bowser and Princess Peach are nothing more than a restraining order waiting to happen, as it turns out there may actually be more to the Bowser and Princess Peach saga. In Super Paper Mario, Count Bleck gave Bowser the day off as main villain in the Mario franchise. Count Bleck sought to bring forth the Chaos Heart so that he could open the void to destroy all dimensions. Just how did Count Bleck bring forth the Chaos Heart? 2 words: unholy matrimony. By forcing Bowser and Princess Peach to get married, he fulfilled the prophecy wherein a princess must wed a monster in order to form the Chaos Heart. Count Bleck managed to succeed in this quest, a quest that Bowser had presumably failed at for many years if marrying Princess Peach were his true intention. While Princess Peach doesn't seem to be content with marrying Bowser, at the end of Super Paper Mario she doesn't divorce him either. It's likely that the marriage wasn't completely legal, seeing as how Count Bleck basically forced them to wed against their will, but one would think that would be a main concern not only to Peach but Bowser as well. Let's face it, with all those castles, he's essentially a real estate mogul. Easy hostage. When most people think of being held hostage, images of dark dungeons come to mind. Most likely prisoners will be held against their will, starved, and treated very poorly. That's usually par for the course when it comes to any kidnapping situation. In the case of Bowser and Princess Peach, the situation appears to play out a lot differently. Bowser has kidnapped Princess Peach countless times throughout the franchise, but she always seems to be in good shape after the fact. Her clothes are clean and pressed, her hair is impeccable, and her demeanor still remains cheerful in spite of all the abductions. She often has a room to herself, access to food, and a first-rate view of the Mushroom Kingdom from atop her private tower. Perhaps Princess Peach rests easy knowing that the Mario Brothers will surely save her for the umpteenth time, which would explain her delightful attitude. It doesn't, however, explain why Bowser treats his prisoner as though she's a guest at his 5-star lava-filled castle. If Bowser had any ill will towards Princess Peach, he could easily throw her into the dungeons of one of his many castles, never to be seen again. In fact, that would probably be more beneficial than making sure she's treated to a Shy Guy prepared continental breakfast each morning of her abduction. Monarchy. Princess Peach is, obviously, a princess, and typically that signifies that the kingdom being ruled over is a monarchy. However, Princess Peach looks nothing like the subject she rules over, so how did she ascend to the throne as the ruler of the Mushroom People and the other inhabitants of the kingdom? In fact, there are very few humans residing in the Mushroom Kingdom. In a nation of Koopas, Mushroom People, and Yoshis, it seems as though Princess Peach and her friends are suspiciously out of place. Not to mention, in some instances, it seems as though the Mushroom People and Yoshis tend to be servants to the few humans residing in the Mushroom Kingdom, with Toad attending to Princess Peach's every need, and Yoshi oftentimes being callously abandoned by Mario in favor of an out-of-reach block only to be summoned again saddle-ready for Mario to use another time. That said, Bowser doesn't look out of place when considering the other residents of the Mushroom Kingdom, and he does own quite a few castles of his own, enough for each of the Koopalings to inhabit. Perhaps Princess Peach has invaded the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser is only trying to retake his land and restore order to the kingdom that was taken from him. Differences aside. Appearing in over 100 games in the Mario franchise, it may seem that Bowser's #1 priority is to kidnap Princess Peach at all costs. However, Bowser is not always the main villain within the Mushroom Kingdom, and has often put aside his differences with his sworn enemies, Mario and Luigi. In Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Bowser is kicked out of his castle when a giant sword falls from the sky. The Smithy Gang has invaded the castle in order to take over the world. Bowser soon realizes that he will have to team up with Mario and friends to regain control over his castle. Super Paper Mario also sees Bowser join the ranks of the Mario Brothers in order to stop Count Bleck from destroying the world with a Chaos Heart. Of course, Bowser frequently joins the gang in other titles as well, such as Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and various Mario sports games. If Bowser truly were a terrifying force in the Mushroom Kingdom, would Mario and his cohorts be playing games alongside him? Probably not. Allowing your sworn enemy to hang out on days off is probably counterproductive and somewhat risky. Loving father. 7 Koopalings made their first appearance in Super Mario Bros. 3 as Bowser's children, which was hinted at in the game manual with Morton referring to his father, presumably Bowser. Further confusing the matter, Bowser Jr. was introduced in Super Mario Sunshine, eventually leading Shigeru Miyamoto to state in 2012 that currently the 7 Koopalings are merely minions, meaning that Bowser Jr. is his only biological son. Demotion of the Koopalings to mere minions aside, even if Bowser Jr. is the only true child of Bowser, it appears as though Bowser is a single father raising his son alone in the Mushroom Kingdom. In a cutscene from Super Mario Sunshine, Bowser has a heart-to-heart with Bowser Jr., explaining that Princess Peach is not really his mom. Bowser seems genuinely saddened that he has to have this tough talk with his son. While Bowser Jr. already knows that Peach is not his mother, it's still touching that Bowser has the maturity to have this discussion with his son. Also, in spite of the Koopalings not being Bowser's biological children, he does seem to spend plenty of time with them. Bowser even goes as far as building castles for them to live in. If Bowser were a truly evil individual, this type of behavior would be wildly out of character. Bowser the Orphan. Bowser Jr. isn't the only member of the Bowser family with a lineage shrouded in mystery. Bowser's parents have never appeared within the Mario franchise, and Bowser's family life was only mentioned in passing in Super Mario World 2: Yoshi's Island. In the game, it is mentioned that Kamek, the Magic Koopa, has raised Bowser himself since Bowser was a baby. It's not exactly clear how Kamek came into possession of a child, and in the past, most players have assumed that Kamek is merely one of Bowser's advisors. While it is possible that Kamek is actually Bowser's biological father, it has never been confirmed, so players are left to assume that he is, at least, acting as a foster parent to Bowser. Regardless of the true nature of their relationship, Kamek is a staple of Bowser's squad throughout the franchise. In Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, however, the nature of their relationship is called into question again. When Mallow's psychopath ability is used against a brainwashed Kamek, he thinks to himself, "That's my child?" Of course, in order to see this exchange, Bowser would have to be a member of your party, so it may be a scene that is missed by most players. Evil Kamek. Given the fact that Bowser was raised by Kamek the Magic Koopa, is it any surprise that he tends to engage in questionable behavior? For players unfamiliar with Kamek's antics, he is a Koopa whose main source of entertainment is wreaking havoc and chaos in the Mushroom Kingdom. In Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, Kamek foresees in his crystal ball that the Mario brothers will become a threat to the Koopas and decides to kidnap baby Mario and baby Luigi, attacking an innocent stork in the process. In Yoshi's Island DS, Kamek once again attempts to kidnap babies in order to obtain at least one of the 7 star babies whose hearts contain unimaginable powers. Kamek makes another appearance in Yoshi's Woolly World, this time turning several Yoshis into Wonderwool before placing them in a sack and attempting to kidnap them. With Kamek's penchant for kidnapping and causing problems throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, is it any surprise that Bowser grew up to think that this type of behavior is normal? In fact, with Kamek the Magic Koopa's track record, who's to say that he was willingly put in charge to care for baby Bowser? Perhaps Kamek also kidnapped Bowser at some point, and Bowser, being a baby at the time, simply doesn't remember his parents or the life he had prior to Kamek raising him.
Bowser may be known as an evil, kidnapping tyrant who constantly causes chaos in the Mushroom Kingdom, but if you ask King Koopa himself, one of the main titles he would give himself is a father. Bowser definitely has children, but some mix-ups in the Mario canon make it a little confusing as to exactly how many. Let's deep dive into the subject to get a clear answer. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Bowser's extended family. Before we can figure out who Bowser's children are, we need to look at the family around him. Bowser's parents are rarely mentioned in the Mario franchise. A throwaway line indicated Bowser's father was on the run, and a version of his mother was featured on an animated episode of the Super Mario show. The absentee parents are never mentioned again, but we did get a good glimpse at Bowser's childhood through the game Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Ugh, just hearing the title makes me hear baby Mario's yelling. In the game, we're introduced to Kamek. The Magic Koopa had the challenging task of raising a stubborn and evil Bowser from birth. Their bond remains strong, and Kamek is often considered the magical father who raised him. With such an unconventional childhood, you can only imagine how Bowser views family life as he grows older. This is a huge factor in the way he raises and treats his children. Introduction to the Koopalings. The whole Bowser family tree was changed, well, actually uprooted, torn down, and probably set on fire with the release of Super Mario 3 in 1988. No longer did Bowser rely on useless Goombas to do his dirty work. We were introduced to not just 1, but 7 of Bowser's children. Yep, while Birdo was taking over the villain duties in Super Mario 2, Bowser was busy bringing 7 kids into the world. While gamers from the 1980s would probably prefer to refer to the clan as the Bowser Bunch, they were officially known as the Koopalings. The 7 children served as bosses in the first 7 worlds of Super Mario 3. They each had a similar look to Bowser, but fought with their own quirky attributes. Each child carried a magical wand, likely given to them by Grandpa Kamek. Out of the 7, 6 are boys: Larry, Morton, Iggy, Roy, Lemmy, and Ludwig. The lone girl is known as Wendy O. Koopa, and she loves to boss her brothers around. While they all appear the same age, they're actually different ages, although it's a little unclear what they actually are. The only true twins among them are Iggy and Lemmy. Not only are they twins, but the youngest of the Koopalings. After the success of Super Mario Bros. 3, the Koopalings returned for multiple games, including Super Mario World. So now, not only was Mario destroying Bowser in game after game, but he was picking off his children one by one along the way. The SNES upgrade continued their journey as Bowser's children, but would their loving family last long? I'm sure you're thinking what I'm thinking, but don't get too far ahead. We'll get to that in an entry or two. An animated family. At the same time as the Super Mario Bros. 3 release, the animation company DiC created their own cartoon based on the game. In the adventures of Super Mario 3, we would get an even bigger glimpse at Bowser's fatherhood and the way he treated all 7 children. Going from the cartoon to the games may be a little confusing because there are numerous differences within the content of the show. One of the main differences is the names the Koopalings are given. The animation for the show began before the game's final development, forcing animators to create names of their own. The Koopalings are often referred to as the Koopa Kids, further proving the fact that they're Bowser's actual children. Even though the characters are the same, the new names were Hop, Cootie Pie, Hip, Bully, Big Mouth, Cheatsy, and Kooky. I guess the video game creators were a little more creative in their name department. If you don't know their origins, you should go check it out. Their names are some pretty cool Easter eggs. The episodes dove deep into Bowser's relationship with these children. He was bossy, but often spoiled them and helped hatch evil plans to take down the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario, and all his friends. All of the characters also returned for another another animated series, simply titled Super Mario World. They kept their on-air names despite the Super Mario World game sticking to the original namesakes. Watching these episodes, there's no denying Bowser's role as their father. They refer to him as Dad, several references are made to parenting, and it's pretty crazy to imagine, but Bowser was raising 7 children at one time, all while managing his princess kidnapping ring. If it wasn't so evil, I'd say it was admirable. Rewriting history. After the release of Super Mario World, the Koopalings were largely written off in Mario games. They made no appearances on the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo GameCube. Bowser moved on without a mention of his children, and it seemed like Nintendo did a clean sweep of the Koopaling story. Just when it seemed like the Koopalings would be locked away in Bowser's castle forever, they staged an epic comeback for the Wii. For the release of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, the Koopalings all made a surprise return, acting as the world bosses like they once did in Super Mario 3. Only this time, things were a little different. Not only did they get some nice 3D upgrades and character designs, but it appears they all turned into orphans. Bowser no longer referred to them as his children, and the Koopa was dropped from all their names. Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto even confirmed this in a 2012 statement, directly confirming that they are not his children. For longtime Mario fans, this was a huge change. Just like the magical wand they all carried, poof, their whole history was eliminated from the timeline. Everything we knew was a lie, and now the Koopalings were merely Bowser's minions, forced to take care of themselves on their own. It's this big change in history that confuses so many fans. Older generations grew up to know the Koopalings as his children, while younger fans are probably just as confused. And I'm sure even now we'd all take them in any form over the Broodals. Bowser's nicknames. As if breaking down Bowser's family history isn't hard enough, you can start tossing a variety of fatherly nicknames in the mix. Bowser has no shortage of nicknames in the Mario franchise and has been referred to over a dozen different things. While he's simply known as Bowser now, he also originally went by names like King Koopa, King of the Koopas, Koopa King, or just plain Koopa. His royal name would shift from Lord Bowser to King Bowser depending on the game you were playing. When you look back and follow the journey of the Koopalings, there were a number of different names they're referred to him as. Wendy O consistently refers to Bowser as Daddykins. Other Koopalings have used nicknames like King Dad, Pops, and Papa. See how this gets confusing? Despite all this, the history rewrite has stuck, and the Koopalings are not officially his children. This leads us to the conclusion: Bowser has one child. What? Who? Throw his name up on screen, editor. Bowser Jr. In 2002, Bowser's whole family history was thrown for a loop with the release of Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. At first, the game makes you think you're fighting a character named Shadow Mario. About halfway through, it's revealed to be Bowser Jr., the only child Bowser has. The namesake of Bowser is just as evil as his father, kidnapping Princess Peach and causing all types of havoc for Mario. To take things even further, Bowser Jr. not only decides to kidnap Peach, but he creates pollution over an entire island. Papa must have been proud. Super Mario Sunshine was just the beginning for Bowser Jr. He joined his non-siblings in New Super Mario Bros. Wii and has gone on to appear in dozens of games. Bowser Jr. is typically teaming up with his father, although the two have clashed on multiple occasions. Their fights are typically competitive battles in games like Mario Strikers Charged and Mario Party Island Tour. He has remained loyal to his father, follows his plans, and is like a miniature version of Bowser. The arrival of Bowser Jr. all but confirmed the story fate of the Koopalings, but it also started a number of new rumors, including who Bowser Jr.'s mother actually is. The answer is just as complicated as figuring out how many children Bowser actually has. Peach and Bowser. For years, Bowser has kidnapped Peach, kept her trapped, and destroyed portions of the Mushroom Kingdom. Despite all this, Bowser has actual feelings for Peach. He just expresses them in the completely wrong way. Maybe this is the result of being raised by an evil wizard after your parents have abandoned you. Anyway, Super Mario Sunshine not only revealed Bowser Jr., but it threw in an interesting plot twist. Bowser Jr. kidnapped Peach because he claimed she was his mother. How Peach ever believed this is a whole other topic, but the revelation completely changed people's views of the whole Bowser and Peach relationship. It added layers to their relationship and hints at Peach's willingness to be with Bowser a lot more. Players dealing with the shocking Jerry Springer-style news were forced to wait through a few more hours of gameplay before the truth was revealed. Bowser lied to Jr. about who his mother was. The clever Bowser Jr. actually knew all along, but kidnapped Peach anyway. Must be in his blood or something. Even after the truth was revealed, Bowser Jr. continued to taunt Peach. He has called her Mama in multiple games games and followed in Daddy's footsteps by participating in kidnapping plots against the princess. The truth about Bowser Jr.'s real mother remains a mystery, although the whole wedding plot in Super Mario Odyssey would be completely different if Bowser and Peach had birthed the child together. Don't Google that, okay? Honor system. Baby Bowser. While Bowser Jr. is officially Bowser's child, he's not to be confused with Baby Bowser. Baby Bowser is not another love child of Bowser, but is actually Bowser, and the whole family tree is now officially a jumbled mix of vines and prickers. Baby Bowser is the young version of Bowser and officially made his debut in Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Along with Baby Bowser, the game also featured Baby Mario. The baby form of Bowser is the nemesis to Yoshi and appears in a number of the Yoshi-oriented games. What makes the character confusing is the fact that Baby Bowser teams up with the adult version of Bowser in Yoshi's Island DS. The time travel plot puts the two mega villains together, but they are not father and son. Thankfully, the truth about Baby Bowser is not as confusing because he remains pretty isolated within the Yoshi series. It's just easy for fans to mix him up with Bowser Jr., especially when it comes to merchandising, character designs, and toys. Koopa Kid. Okay, let's break this down. So, there's the Koopalings, not his children. He probably used a quick flame ball to burn the birth certificates. Bowser Jr., his only child, and Baby Bowser, the young version of Bowser. Whew, well, that seems to cover all of it. Wait a second. Who the heck is Koopa Kid? If you've played a majority of the Mario Party games, then you would be used to seeing the character known as Koopa Kid. Not to be confused with Bowser Jr., Koopa Kid looks like a 6-year-old version of Bowser. Appearing in Mario Party 4, the description of the character alludes to multiple Koopa Kids, and Mario Party 5 features all types of Koopa Kid color designs. This proves that there are actually more than one Koopa Kid in the Mario universe. These characters are also not officially Bowser's children, even though he does call one son in Mario Party 7. They are merely fake young versions of Bowser, seemingly created just to add characters in the Mario Party franchise. After the introduction of Bowser Jr., the Koopa Kids were left in a Mario Party wasteland and never seen again. Even in the recent release of Mario Party Top 100, Koopa Kids' character design was replaced with Bowser Jr. As Nintendo cleans up their history, we'll have to wait and see if Bowser has any more children. It would be interesting to revisit these storylines in the future. We can imagine playing a game where the Koopalings gather all the other characters to turn on Bowser and figure out their true family history. Well, there you have it. Who is your favorite Mario villain? Should the Koopalings be considered his actual children? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments section below.
If you really want to fire someone up for fun, tell them Bowser is the greatest character ever created by Nintendo for some entertaining conversation. What did you say? You'll see Mario and Luigi fans whip out their best power-ups and facts. We're here to help you win the argument with these weird facts you never knew about Bowser. Do you dream of having your own castle like our favorite supervillain Bowser, full of lava and fireballs? Well, sorry folks, we can't give you one of those, but we can give you something almost as good. Subscribe to our channel for awesome video game-related content you won't find anywhere else. And yeah, sometimes there might be something funny and factual in there. I mean, we find ourselves funny. Bowser was originally an ox. Bowser has been a staple character for Nintendo since his first appearance in Super Mario Bros. In 1985. He has had a successful 30-plus year run, which is quite impressive in the video game world. The original creator of Bowser was Shigeru Miyamoto, although it was an accident that he even designed the cover art, which has now been changed to reflect the Bowser we have all come to love, or hate. Miyamoto strongly considered asking a professional manga artist or illustrator to do the art for the game, but since time was running out, he ended up drawing the original box art himself. He used inspiration from an anime film called Journey to the West and found the Ox Demon King to be the perfect reflection of what he felt Bowser should be. The original design included gray-blue skin and a lack of horns, but the design would be revamped once Yoichi Katabe, a hired animation artist, stepped in. However, it was Nintendo designer Takeshi Tezuka who pointed out Bowser should be a turtle, and the rest is history. When Miyamoto saw the final design of Bowser, he exclaimed, "Wow, I can really make Bowser look cool now." We feel he has definitely kept his word, and Bowser has become more beloved and cooler with each newly released game. Bowser had a wife. It's hard to imagine, but it turns out Bowser had a wife at one point. He never struck us as a family man. Now fans argue it can't possibly be true because he's constantly chasing Peach, but the mysterious part is Claudia Koopa just vanished into thin air. Doesn't sound like Bowser was very faithful. And yes, Claudia is spelled C-L-A-W-D-I-A. Very clever, Nintendo. Very clever. Claudia first showed up in a Nintendo Power UK magazine solely for entertainment and was cited as Bowser's wife. There isn't much background information on her, or whether the two are still married or separated, but they certainly have their issues. There have been theories saying she may be the mother of both Bowser Jr.'s and the Koopalings. The Koopalings aren't exactly Bowser's children, which means Claudia either had a husband before their marriage or was seeing someone on the side. Man, this is steamy. Either way, we know Claudia isn't around anymore. She's hidden herself far away from the Mario, Bowser, and Peach drama, and we can't blame her. Get away, girl. You just keep running. Maybe she left because Bowser was always busy trying to kidnap another woman of a different species, which we can definitely see as problematic for any relationship. You don't need therapy to see that one. Artists and fans love to make up theories about what Claudia is doing now. One of our favorite versions of Claudia is the made-up one by FK Central. She's a typical mother who cooks, cleans, and makes sure her children are raised properly. The conflict between her husband and Mario is ridiculous, and she wants no part, so she moved out of the castle to avoid the drama. She knows her children also want to fight Mario, but she hopes they won't go down the same path as Bowser. Kinda sounds like an HBO special. Sign me up. Bowser really loves Peach. Since the beginning, we've known Bowser kidnaps Peach. It's just part of their story, and a lot of fans argue he only does it because he wants to rule the Mushroom Kingdom. That does make sense, but why would he continue to try to kidnap Princess Peach over and over again, failing each time, if he had no romantic feelings towards her? Unless his character is going through some weird technical glitches, it just wouldn't make sense for him to do this to gain control over a bunch of toads and turtles. There are two instances where Bowser makes Peach more into property than an object of romance. In Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, he says, "Under no circumstances is anyone allowed to kidnap Peach without my say-so." And then again in Super Paper Mario, he says, "Will I marry Peach? Are you kidding me?" The answer's yes. The Paper Mario series shows us how strongly attracted to Peach he actually is. It's a little bit creepy. It does it in a comedic way, of course, as we get to see Bowser's diary full of Peach-related material. Super creepy. He also kisses a poster of the princess and confesses his undying love to the poster. Okay, super extra creepy. It's all humorous, but also really sad to watch. He's pretty confident he's gonna be with Peach, but it's his selfish behavior that makes her despise him. In the end, we just don't think a fire-breathing dragon turtle and a human girl would be able to make it work. But hey, love knows no bounds. 3 Korean dishes were inspiration for Bowser's name. If there's one thing we know, it's that Bowser loves food almost as much as he loves coming up with master plans to beat Mario and rule the Mushroom Kingdom. There is one food, however, he absolutely hates, and, like most of us, it's vegetables.
No, Mom, I will not eat my broccoli.
In Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, we see how much he really hates his vegetables, and he even claims to get stomach aches from them. Aw, poor guy. So it would only make sense Bowser was named after a delicious Korean cuisine named Daimyo Koopa. When pairing the two next to each other, they look oddly similar. Well, it's not that Bowser looks like a bunch of veggies, it's mostly just the color palette that looks similar. We think it's best not to tell Bowser he looks like vegetables, though. He might get a little annoyed. There were 2 runner-up dishes called Yuke and Bibimba, but it all comes down to King Koopa, because it just had a better ring to it. Is all this talk about food making you hungry? If so, why don't you try some of these dishes to see if Miyamoto was right in naming Bowser after them? Supposedly, they're quite spicy, so you might be breathing fire afterwards. Bowser is the world's #1 villain. Sure, this might be old news, but it's nonetheless just as important. Bowser was announced as the #1 villain of all time. Guinness World Records did a poll to see who people thought could make the cut, and out of the top 50 video game villains of all time, Bowser scored the top seat. Now, GLaDOS from Portal was the second runner-up, and that's pretty tough competition if you ask us. We're happy to see Bowser score the top spot because, after all, he's a part of the best-selling video game franchise of all time. After all the time it has taken Bowser to plan his elaborate kidnappings, we definitely feel he deserved the rightful seat on the video game villain throne. He's one of the most persistent villains, and it's no wonder he should be crowned king of the video game villains after over 30 years of conspiring against Mario. I bet you that's older than most of you watching. The runner-up GLaDOS was barely beat out for the spot, and only a small share of the votes kept the AI computer system from snagging the top spot. Sadly, Wario didn't even crack the top 50 list. No love for Wario, huh? What are some of your favorite Bowser facts? Do you believe the fan theory about Peach being the evil dictator and Bowser being the good guy? After all, how did a human get to rule over the Mushroom Kingdom? Would you want to know more about this theory? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.